This is Secret America.
Welcome, everybody. I am Jack Danger along with Jay Gatling, and we hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. We had a special episode on Friday, just something we felt like doing because we had a lot to talk about, and it would be too much to fit into this one episode. Jay, how you doing today, man?
Doing great, Jack. And yeah, if we if we didn't do that show Friday, I think this would have been about a 4-hour marathon. We would have been going until past midnight, and we just can't have that.
You're absolutely right. We definitely can't have that. And let me tell you something else that's absolutely something that we cannot have. And it starts in the UK, because everything that happens in America starts in the UK. I mean, that's where they test it out. If it works in the UK, if it can take over the UK, they bring it to America. Same thing with COVID and everything else. So right now, as we know, as we reported on Friday, actually, the UK is trying to, Keir Starmer in particular, is trying to get rid of jury trials. First of all, they want to have just judge trials, which can make it the most corrupt criminal justice system you can possibly find, because judge trials are, look what happened in what the hell is the name of that country where that Supreme Court justice runs everything but the president doesn't?
Oh, I don't know.
El Salvador. Thank you. It's El Salvador.
Wait, I thought it was maybe Adolf Hitler got elected.
No, this guy is, I forget his name, but he's a Supreme Court justice in El Salvador, and he actually runs everything. He makes the laws, and he jails people, including the president. It's unbelievable because he is the judge, which is why I say judges cannot be jury and executioner. It has to be a jury of your peers. But we know he's trying to get away with that, Jay. He's also trying to get away with the digital ID. If you have digital ID and no jury trials, you have a lot of innocent people jailed. I can tell you that, for little things. But speaking of jailed, there are, get this, okay? I saw this the other day. There are 12,000 UK citizens that have been arrested this year alone for social media posts. That's it. 12,000 for nothing more than social media posts. But, there's Islamic gang rapes, Islamic rape gangs all over the UK that get to do whatever they want. So, I mean, I can't even talk about it anymore. You tell me what's going on. It's just insane.
I have a great one for you. You just jogged my memory. I saw over the weekend a citizen of the UK went on vacation to, I believe it was Alabama or Florida, and he totook a photo of himself with a shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
Jack, did they arrest this guy when he got back to England?
They did arrest him. He took a photo. He was at a shooting range in Florida. He had a shotgun, took a photo with it. They arrested him and told him, even though he posted it in Florida and he was doing it in Florida, they told him to watch out for his social media posts because they could hurt other people's sensitivities or feelings or whatever the hell the word was. It was basically, you can't hurt other people's feelings. That's basically what it was.
Okay, so that's what it comes down to now. It's, okay, your social media posts, even if you don't make them in the country, are going to hurt somebody's feelings back in your country. So when you come back, you could face prosecution for something you didn't even do here.
It's worse than that, actually,
because broke no laws.
Now you can do it even if you don't post anything offensive. It's whatever the police or Keir Starmer or the judge deem to be offensive. There is no specific hate language. There is no specific language saying you can't say this on social media. Even if there was, that would be insane. But the fact that it's vague and they can arrest you for anything, that's the start of serious oppression. That is exactly how Hitler started. He started with speech, with propaganda, with censorship. If people cannot get real information to one another, that's when you can put out the stories. You can tell them what to think, and that's exactly what they want.
Yeah, and over there, you don't even have to worry about taking away guns because nobody has them anyway. So you've already won that battle. That's
the reason they are the way they are right now.
Yeah,
their guns were taken away in the 90s, and they didn't fight for them, and that's why they're in the position they are now.
And now it all ties in, right? They want to have these juryless trials. So wait a minute. Say a gentleman like this who went on vacation, posted a photo doing nothing illegal where he was, and comes back and then has to face a judge.
All he
Wait
did
a
was
minute.
hold a shotgun. He was literally holding it and pointing it. Someone else took the picture, posted it on social media, came back, went to jail, and if Keir Starmer gets his way, it's just going to be judge trials, which breeds an immense amount of corruption because judges can then be paid off for verdicts. Judges can pretty much do whatever they want at that point.
Well, listen, look what they're doing with the judicial system in our country when you have judges like Boasberg, who are basically running roughshod by himself over the Trump administration. Undermine and
they can't go so far though, because we have the Constitution and they don't. I don't know what the hell they have over there, but it obviously doesn't do shit.
Well, that's the thing though. Like you said, it starts there and then it comes here, right? So we kind of see it trying to come here already with how they are using the judicial system to basically undermine and prevent the duly elected president who, again, I don't care about the popular vote when it comes to president, but since they do, I'll use it. He won the popular vote and he won the electoral college in a landslide as far as the electoral college goes, won every single swing state. And we have judges that are basically stopping the will of the people. So it really, you say things start in England, they're already coming over, Jack. I mean, think about that.
Well, you think that's bad enough. If they're coming over here, let me tell you, digital ID is going to be one of the things they try to implement next. And everybody, the problem with America today, and I'm going to tell you the exact problem. Forget the accountability thing. That's obviously the number one problem overall. But the problem with Americans, they are soft. They are weak. They are comfortable. They're not willing to risk their comfortability for freedom. They are willing to give up freedom for safety. And the politicians know this. All they have to do is create some kind of false flag, some kind of 9/11, and they can bring in the Patriot Act. That's all they have to do because Americans today are not willing to risk their comfortability for their freedom.
You know, people in our country, they don't realize how good they have it. It's kind of taken for granted. Exactly. You know, where there are people, Jack, in our country that look for problems because they really don't have any. The problems you have are so first world that I think so many people are you bored? Is that what it is? Like, I have to find something to complain about. So I'm going to go out and start this ridiculous movement, whether it's, trans for everybody or whatever. Or the books in the schools. I mean, it's nuts. So you're right. We are very comfortable here. It is still, as much as they tried to destroy it, is still the greatest country in the world. And I don't even think it's close. You look at England, you look at Europe, and you say, my God, if that starts happening, if you're telling me that you could get arrested for posting something on social media, that right there, that it's over. I
gotta say though, man, I'm really liking Poland. Poland is doing a lot. I'm really liking Japan. I'm really liking
Hungary.
Hungary. And I'm sorry, it was not El Salvador because who is the president? Who's Nayib?
Bukele is the president of El Salvador.
Then I apologize. It wasn't El Salvador. I cannot remember who the hell that judge was the Supreme Court justice of and ran roughshod over the president. I want to say Ecuador, something with an E, I think. But anyways, so it's El Salvador is a decent place now. Argentina, Hungary, especially Poland for Christians. Poland is an amazing place right now. There are no immigrants. They don't let Japan. Oh, man, you should see the stuff they're doing in Japan. They just banned the burqa. You can't have the burqa in Japan. So it's getting a lot better all over those places. But that is far, far east.
Yeah, and they just elected a pretty, looks like a conservative, prime minister in Japan?
She's awesome, man. You're talking about, she's awesome.
Yeah, so it boomeranged again. Listen, we have to worry here because we have, as we've seen, a couple of people get elected in these off-year elections that are a problem. We had it in Virginia. We have it in New York City. We had it in Seattle. And I don't know, Jack, if you want to move on right now, but it leads right into maybe what's going on in Tennessee, if you want, or we can hold on to that.
Talk about it.
Well, I mean, in Tennessee tomorrow on December 2nd, you have a special election coming up because Mark Green, I believe his name was, he was the Republican, and he announced his resignation, I believe in March, and he's no longer there. So that seat is open. So you have a special election in Tennessee tomorrow for that district. It is a district that covers parts of Nashville and a lot of the areas surrounding Nashville. President Trump won this district by 22 points in 2024. Mark Green, I believe, won it by about 21 and a half. And right now they have run the Republican. His last name is Van Epps. President Trump just put out a truth, I believe, yesterday or the day before, of course, wholeheartedly endorsing him. But the polling is close, and he's running against a woman. Her name is Afton Ben. She's a state representative in Tennessee, and her nickname is the AOC of Tennessee.
Is she the one that said she hates everything, hates Americans, hates this and that?
She basically said, Jack, I think she said the word hate about 6 times in 10 seconds when it came to Nashville.
I want to find that video. What would you say your name was?
Afton Ben. It's spelled AFTYNBEHN is her last name. Afton
wow, that's
Ben.
quite a name.
Yeah. Well, don't a lot of these leftists always have these names?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, geez, they have the craziest. I mean, what's the point there? But yeah, so CNN even asked her, they said, do you think it was a mistake to say you hated Nashville? And she said, I was a private citizen. And I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. Nashville's the biggest city in your district. You want to win said district, but you don't mind saying you hate this and this and this about Nashville. You hate Nashville. You hate Americans or whatever it was.
She hates country music, Jack. She hates country music.
She's in Tennessee.
She said she hates the bachelorette parties that she sees coming out of the airport. Like, wait a minute. Who do you think is supporting your economy?
Yeah.
Are you an idiot? Well, yes, you are. But you're basically telling people, I hate you coming to my city and spending your money to support my economy. It is absolutely incredible. And the fact that she is close, like in striking distance, according to polling, and we know polling could be wrong, and I hope it's wrong. I hope it's very wrong. Jack.
I don't see how the hell she could be in striking distance unless it's like an illegal type thing. Let me put this up there real quick. So this is the GOP of Nashville. Okay, this is what they put, and I want to show everybody real quick because it's audio that she was recorded saying.
Yes,
and this is absolutely insane. So I'm going to go ahead and play it real quick so everybody can hear it. Because yeah, I couldn't believe this myself. So.
Music. I hate all of the things that make Nashville.
Let me start that over. For some reason, it didn't start at the beginning. But anyways, listen to this.
Because I hate the city. I hate the bachelorettes. I hate the pedal taverns. I hate country music. I hate all of the things that make Nashville, apparently. Because I hate the city. I hate the bachelorettes.
That is
I hate the pedal.
Absolutely unbelievable.
It went on longer than that, Jack. She said it a couple more times. I mean, I think 6 times in 10 seconds she used the word hate, and then she tells people that was taken out of context. Explain how.
And then she said, I was a private citizen after they said, did you make a mistake saying you hate Nashville? No, I was a private citizen. What the hell does that got to do with anything?
Doesn't even deny it. She also doesn't deny the tweets that she made in 2020 about defunding the police, about being okay with police stations being burned down. She was hammered on this on MSNBC. I think we mentioned this maybe the last time in a program, but she was actually hammered on this on MSNBC of all places. They kind of gave it to her a little bit, and she completely just refuses to answer the question, and she moves on to the affordability talking point. That's what she does. She is a horrible candidate. But she's this young, leftist AOC that they think, I hope they're wrong, they're going to get young people to come out in droves and vote for her and put her over the top. Jack, if we lose this race, that one, Virginia aside, New Jersey aside, New York City aside, we lose a race in Tennessee that President Trump and the person that vacated the seat won by 22 points, we got problems.
I mean, you're right. But see, the thing is, I kind of think that's part of the plan. I mean, you see all these Republicans retiring at the end of their terms now. I mean, they all decided to retire at the same time, too. It's just maybe that's the plan, is to get some, they don't want to go in there. They're going to get another win if they go in there. They don't want to. I think they want to kind of hand power over to the Democrats. There's probably some kind of deals going on behind the scenes to where, okay, I'll retire and, this person can step up and be, a Democrat and win this district. That way, the Democrats can have power, because some of the Republicans don't like Trump. So they want to put him in check by having the Democrats win the House or the Senate, or vote against him in the Senate or the House. And that's part of the plan, is to get more of them in there. Because believe it or not, despite what everybody wants to believe, the uniparty is real. And not only is it real, but it is about 95% of Congress.
I agree with that. And I think it's, I don't know about 95% anymore. I think President Trump has made
you're right. It's probably 99%.
Yeah. Right. So, but the thing is, you're right. And Republicans, even before President Trump, they never use or wield the power that they've been given. They never do. And we saw with the Tea Party, when the Tea Party kept handing the Republicans power after Barack Obama got elected. And the complaint was, we only have the House. And then it was, we only have the House and the Senate. We don't have the presidency. And then it was, well, we have the presidency, but we don't have a big margin. You see, it's always an excuse, right?
Always.
And I've said it before. If the Democrats had one senator, if it was 99-1 Republican to Democrat, that one Democrat would fight to the death to do anything he or she could to either slow down, undermine, or beat somehow the Republican agenda. Republicans do not play the same.
You're right, but that's why I said not only is it the Uniparty, but I made the comparison of the Harlem Globetrotters and the Washington Generals.
Yeah.
You know, the Washington Generals are the do-nothing, you know, they never win. They're not supposed to win. The Harlem Globetrotters are the fight hard, always supposed to win group. That's exactly what's going on here. People don't understand that you don't have a choice. When you're voting, you're not voting for one or the other. You're voting for the same thing. It's what America is not choice. It's not freedom of choice. It's an illusion of choice. It looks like you have a choice. They give you these two parties and only these two parties. If another party tries to come in, they'll just kill it. It's not going to be big enough before they squash it. Just like a large company squashing a small mom and pop store, they'll do the same thing because these two parties are the two that are supposed to go head to head for all of eternity. Democrats win, Republicans lose, and it just goes back and forth like that, but it's all one agenda. If the Democrats win the House and the Senate, they can go hard at their agenda. If the Republicans win the House and the Senate, they can't go hard at the Democrats' agenda, but they can give the Democrats little by little until they win again.
It seems like, you know, Republicans they like it when they don't have to take real responsibility. See, when you're the opposition or the minority party, it's easy to talk tough and say, oh, I'm voting against that. That's ridiculous. I'm proposing this, knowing it's never going to pass, right? It's easy to do that. It takes guts to put up legislation that you say, man, this is going to pass and it's going to be on me. And Jack, what you said about a choice, I think a lot of times the choice is just for the lesser of two evils. The only time I felt like I wasn't just voting maybe for the lesser of two evils was President Trump, because I don't see him as an evil at all. I actually see him as somebody who has the best interests of the United States at heart with everything he tries to do. Is he perfect? Of course not. Nobody is. But I only felt like I'm actually voting for somebody that, you know, thinks like me, that thinks like us. It's very rare when you have that. As I said, most of the time, you're right. It feels like you're just voting for the lesser of two evils, and that's just not good enough.
No, it's not. And that's exactly what's been going on. And that's been going on for, you know, since the beginning of time, basically, it seems like in all civilizations, it's always the lesser of two evils. Rarely ever has there been a civilization thrive because, you know, one person or a group of people are in power. I mean, it's just extremely rare. We were very lucky in the late 1700s to get what we got. And, you know, we've already squandered that. It's just getting worse and worse, you know, by the day. And I'm going to tell you why, because there are people now. The reason it's getting so bad now, though, is because there are people that are actually so you know, illegal immigration and all the Somalians that are coming in and all the, you know, Islams and all these people that are coming into America. Well, guess what? There are NGOs, like an NGO headquartered in Minnesota, that is actually paid $2,375 for every Somalian immigrant they bring into the United States. So if they bring in 20 Somalian immigrants, that's close to 23 grand right there that they get. So their job is to bring in as many Somalian immigrants as they can, because that's how that NGO gets paid. But guess what? NGO, for anybody that doesn't know, it stands for non-governmental organization. However, you can't be a non-governmental organization and be funded by the government.
Well, why does this? Wait a minute. Why does this seem like they're all through USAID? We know that was going on. So how does that work? How do you square that round peg? I don't get it. And you want to talk about, okay, so how much per person? You said 2,000, what?
$2,375 per Somalian that they bring into America.
That is insane. And then when you see what's going on in Minnesota, we talked about it with this what's going on with the Medicaid scam. You're talking $1 billion $1 billion where they had people basically doing this, having the kids, it was sitting in daycare, but saying they were autistic. No one in that place, Jack, was actually trained to treat them for anything with autism. These kids were just in there playing video games, sitting around, watching YouTube on their tablets, and they were getting paid thousands of dollars per child, okay, to have them there for not getting treated. You're talking $1 billion. And one person, I think, was herself $14 million. There were families getting $500 to $1,000 a month kickbacks on these kids. And that was basically 6% of the take. So just imagine how much money was going into the hands of these people. And my problem is this. Okay, great. They want the ringleaders. Now, you're telling me these parents didn't know what was going on? The excuse, oh, they didn't speak English. Jack, if you went to a foreign country and something like this was going on, wouldn't you kind of know something was wrong? Or you just say, oh, they're handing me this money, it must be legal. Come on.
No, they definitely know. But at the same time, there's a video that came out in 2016 from the associate chair of the Somalian American Caucus. Okay. And he talks about how the troubles detailing, Elon Omar marriage and all this, that members of the Somali community are threatened into silence, not just for the Elon Omar thing, but through intimidation tactics and physical violence on themselves and their families still back in Somalia. So any of these things happen, if they speak out on any of these things, they may not be hurt, but their family can be killed back in Somalia. So they're in a tough situation if it's something they don't want to participate in. But let's be real, most of them do. They're here illegally.
Right. And even if they're here legally, especially here's the other thing, especially if you're here legally and you're a naturalized citizen, you can still be deported. You are not American born. You were not born here. I mean, I don't get, maybe it's because there are no consequences for anything, but that's
That's why I always talk about the number one thing is accountability. There is no consequences for anything, and that's why everything is the way it is. And that is what is so brilliant about George Soros. Do I dislike the man? Is he a dirty person? Yes. But is he brilliant? Yes. His strategy to kind of bring chaos to America, to upend America, to make America to where it's so multicultural that it doesn't have a culture, to destroy America is absolutely brilliant. And I talked about this before. He does not worry about changing the laws. That's too difficult. All he has to do is get people elected that won't enforce the laws. So as long as they don't enforce the laws, it's just as good as not having the law. So, I mean, it's a brilliant situation. He knew that you don't need the attorney general. You don't need the attorney general of the United States or even of a state. All you need is local prosecutors in big cities. That's all you need.
That's it. It's local. Local wins. And that's why we tell people all the time, you got to get involved, at least know who's running locally. And at this point, I'll keep saying it. You need to know who's running for dog catcher, and you need to know what they think. You need to know what system of government the dog catcher believes in, and then work your way up from there and try to figure out who these people are, who's on your school board, which is also extremely important. They figured that one out, that you can basically now forget about the laws, Jack. That's bad enough. Now you can take children and mold them at a very young age from the time they're in kindergarten to be, how you want them to be, what you want them to think, what philosophy do you want. And that comes to the school board.
I'm sorry. I gotta change the subject for a second.
Go ahead.
I'm looking around. I'm sending, I like to send this to certain people during the show when I have a chance, because, there is absolutely no viewership on X anymore. This is unbelievable. Let me tell you right now, we are 30 minutes into the show. We've had 170 viewers.
That's impossible.
170 viewers. That can't be right. Okay. On Friday, we did an hour show. We had 12,000. On the past Monday, we had 19,000. Right now, we have 168 viewers after 30 minutes. Now, that's got nothing to do with the viewers. I'm not mad at the viewers. And honestly, I would do this for one person. But what I don't like is what the hell is going on with X. And PSYOP, how many on YouTube? Let me tell you that it's not many there either. Right now, it seems like the leftists have control of everything. And especially X. What the hell is Elon Musk doing? It's like he's so into his rockets. Got to get the rockets. Got to get to Mars. I mean, what the hell is wrong with this guy, man? He's got X. He actually saved America by buying X, and now he's letting it slip away. The same way he saved it, it's going back to the way it was. I mean, just take 1 month off from Tesla, from the rockets, and come back to X and fire the people. You got rid of all these people at the beginning when you bought it, but you left so many leftists that are suspending accounts, like the Minnesota one that is for the workers in the Department of Health or something, whatever it is.
Health and Human Services, yeah.
That one right there, they are actually they suspended that account, even though that account is bringing out fraud about Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. He's committing all sorts of fraud and allowing fraud to be committed. So they are actually bringing that to the forefront, and their account was suspended. Not until everybody started talking about it did they, let me unsuspend it so nobody knows. I'm sorry. I wanted to talk about something else, but I am just so pissed off. We're 30 minutes in now, 182 viewers. And like I said, I would do this for one viewer, but this is absolutely ridiculous, man. X, I pay for the premium X. You pay for the organization X, and we are getting nothing for it.
Yeah, they're throttling everything, and you hear big accounts talking about it too. They're losing 50 to 80% on the big accounts, and smaller accounts like mine. I'm 11,000, and I'll put something out, Jack, and unless I get retweeted by a bigger account, I'm getting like 500 views. That is impossible. It's almost impossible to be true. And meanwhile, you get rage bait and clickbait that's running the table. I mean, something's got to change.
I'm glad you brought that up. I am glad you brought that up because I wanted to tell people something I learned from Grok today. So guess what? What Grok does now, if you put a link in your tweet or in your post, you will lose 50% visibility on that post. If you put a link in there, they said that X does not want links to outside websites. So whenever we put secretamericalive.com on a post, they cut the visibility in half immediately. If you put an image or a video on a post, they cut the visibility in half. This is straight from Grok. I talked to Grok myself. He told me. This is straight from Grok, He said, this is what's going on at X. And, sorry, but it ain't going to get better anytime soon because Elon Musk is too into his rockets.
Well, listen, and you get conflicting information about the videos. Oh, videos get better reach. Well, wait a minute. Why are you getting an answer saying, no, you just need script, no videos? And I'll type it in and say, videos tend to get better reach. What's the answer? Do they even know? I don't think they even know.
I will tell you. Because all my posts recently that I've put images on and stuff have gotten, maybe 100 likes and 50 reposts or something, right? I did this post the other day. The speech that I gave where I was venting on there? That one right there. And get this, okay? It had 7,000 likes and like 3,000 reposts. Still only had 78,000 views. I mean, that post should have had 1 million for that kind of stuff because the ratio just doesn't make sense. I saw posts, get this. We're still not at 200 viewers, by the way. Get this. I saw a post that had 24 million views, 300 likes.
That's impossible. Again, I keep using the word. It doesn't make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, it's not true. That's all it comes down to.
It's unbelievable.
Well, something's going on, and I hope they get it figured out. You're right. Elon needs to maybe pay a little bit of attention to this platform. Because listen, I'm grateful to Elon Musk for buying this platform. If he didn't buy this platform, we wouldn't be on here right now. We wouldn't be able to even say what we've said so far in the first half hour of this podcast if Elon didn't buy this platform. We know that. But at the same time now, you're right. Attention needs to be paid. All we're asking for is fair. You just want it to be fair. You just want it, you tell people to put out engaging content. You tell people to put out stuff that isn't just rage and clickbait. They do that. And they're not reaching anybody. So what's the point? You need to do something. And I hear, you'll be able to tweak your own algorithm. But I don't want to have to tweak my own algorithm, Jack. I just want to be able to post something and have it find the right people. Isn't that the whole point? Why should I be worried about tweaking my algorithm? I'm not getting paid by X. I'm paying them. Exactly. I mean, I get creator revenue, but you understand my point.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, I'm going through here and I see, a post that has 2,300,000 likes, has 30 reposts. How in the hell can 2,300,000 people see it with 30 reposts? It doesn't make any sense.
Oh, that's 2 million impressions with 30 reposts?
And look at this. So Nola says she never sees my posts unless I send it to her. And she even has notifications on, too. She is a great patriot, by the way.
Yep.
Anybody wants to follow her, she is a great patriot.
Yep.
Actually, you know what? I need to get her X name because she is someone that would be good to follow. We have so many people in here that are good to follow. You know, Psyop Wars, Deborah, Raina, Patriot Nola. I mean, they are all great people. But no, I'm sorry, Psyop Wars, but X is not glitching. Oh, no. This is on purpose because it's been months now that this has been going on. And they know about it. They have to know about it. It's been months.
Gotten worse. It's gotten
and
worse.
Nola,
Jack.
thank you for telling me that because I was not aware that you couldn't even see my posts even on notifications. I know Psyop Wars, he is, one of our biggest fans. He actually went on Secret America the X and he was unfollowed. He didn't unfollow it, but X unfollowed Secret America for him.
I don't understand it. And you know what? With Nola, you know that she's liking your stuff. You know she's engaging with your stuff. It should be showing up on her timeline because that's the whole point. Yeah. That's who she wants to see stuff from. Just like you will like her stuff, she should show up on your timeline. And if it's not happening, what's the point?
It's all BS. Yeah. So just so anybody knows, she is Nola Cook Patriot, at Nola Cook Patriot. Very cool. And then we got at Psyop Wars. And then Deb. I don't even, what's funny? I know her as Deb, but I never actually look at her actual screen name. I just want to put handle. It's at Brit Conch Lass, at Brit Conch Lass. And then we got Raina is at Raina Queen 13. I just wanted to put those out there because they are loyal fans who show up to every episode. Every single episode, these people are out there. And, we really appreciate it. Nola, Psyop, Nate, Deborah, Raina, thank you very much. Because I couldn't be more angry. We're at 209 views now. We had, it's funny because at this point right now, in a regular X thing where it was all fair, we would have about 3,500 views halfway through the show. After a week, we would have maybe 30, 40,000 downloads. That's the way it used to be, 30, 40,000 downloads. Now, our last episode where we actually advertised, our last full episode this past Monday, 19,000, and then it dropped. I mean, it was gone. No more. X is the only place we can go, man. YouTube sucks. I mean, Facebook is terrible. I mean, there are no places to go. There's nowhere to go.
No, X is it. It's X or die is pretty much how it is for conservatives. So not even conservatives, even if you lean right, you got nowhere else to go. The other platforms will throttle you off the bat. If you don't have an already big following to bring over there with you, you are going to have a very hard time.
I'm glad you brought that up because on our TikTok the other day, we got a strike for, we said that Adolf Hitler won an election, which he did. There was a man named Adolf Hitler that won an election in Nambia, which is a South African country. His actual name was Adolf Hitler. We put that on the title, Adolf Hitler wins election. We got a strike for violent extremism, for putting a man's name on. I mean, you just can't. You just can't. There's no free speech in this place. You just can't.
No, I'm like, wait a minute. Maybe President Trump shouldn't have saved it.
I know, it's ridiculous. I mean, the only thing on there are, teenagers doing challenges that get themselves killed. Let me do the 50 sleep pill challenge. Can you take 50 sleeping pills and, stay awake for an hour? Oh, yeah. That's what they're doing now. Just idiotic, stupid things. I mean, it's just, it's.
Oh, well, TikTok in China is not like that, though. TikTok in China, they're actually teaching their kids how to do things, educational stuff to help them develop and become strong and develop their minds.
I am glad you brought that up because let me tell you what else is going on in China. The social credit system that they are trying to bring to the UK with digital ID. Did you know that right now in China, there is actually a social credit system where now, based on what you say on social media, based on your interactions with people, based on everything that they see online and in person, your social credit score actually goes up and down all the time. If it's too low, you can't get a place to stay. You can't buy food. You can't ride in your car. They'll turn your car off. And this is the God's the honest truth. If you think, I want you to look up China social credit system. There are millions of people in China that are homeless because their social credit is below whatever the hell the minimum is because they spoke out against the government. That is, I mean, you want to talk about oppression? That is the ultimate. And right now, China has the ultimate because everybody's going to follow it because nobody wants to be left out and not be able to have a place to live or eat. So they're all going to follow it. Nobody's going to rebel because if one person rebels, they have nothing. If 20 people rebel, they have nothing. It would take millions, and that's not going to happen in China. That's why they're bringing it to the UK, because they know it's not going to happen in the UK. The United States is the last chance for the entire world to not be enslaved by things like this.
Absolutely. And listen, all this stuff that you see on TV, to show Black Mirror, I don't know if you ever heard of that show. Black Mirror, it had actually an episode. This is probably going back 7-8 years, with a social credit system where, like you said, I want to buy a house. Well, you can only get this kind of house because your social credit score isn't high enough. You're not the in crowd. You're not, you know what I mean? So you're not one of the elites. So this stuff that you see isn't far-fetched. In fact, it's become reality in some places, and they're trying to make it reality in a lot of places. Go ahead.
Let me tell you, the reason, again, that we're not getting any reach, they are putting our link. They're putting a link in the post and not our video. Again,
Here we go again.
They did this last time a couple weeks ago, and it was a freaking reach to get 12,000 downloads or view, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Yeah, let me look at how it looks on my page.
I call X views downloads. Now impressions are what are the real views, but when you see views on a video, like how many views, that's what I call the downloads, because it's the same thing. It's all X has to measure downloads.
Well, I'm looking at my page, and on my page where I reposted and quote posted it, it is the video. So I
look at other people's quote posts, though.
On whose?
Don't click on it. Look on other people's quote posts. Like go to Secret America. Go to Secret America right now. You'll be able to see our video, but then go below and scroll down and look at PsyOp Wars. Look at Raina. Look at Patriot Nola. There is no video.
Got it.
You see it?
Yep.
That's what's happening to us.
Well, there you go. There you go.
It's very disheartening.
It is. Well, listen, like we said, we would do this for one person.
We're going to keep going. You better believe it.
Yeah, we love our audience. It doesn't matter. If we just battle through it, there'll be bumps in the road. This is one of them. And we just run through it. That's all we're going to do. We will not be phased by people.
I would do it for these 4 people, man, because these 4 people show up and talk every episode, and I love it. So I would do it just if they were the only 4 that watched, because I really those are the people. Nola, PsyOp Wars, Raina, Deborah, awesome people. And I mean, there's a lot more. Don't get me wrong, Free and Terry, and just a whole bunch. It's just, I can't sit here and rattle off 1,000 names.
Yeah, but it's true. we have a loyal following that you developed way before I got here, and I'm just glad everybody's accepted me, and I appreciate it. So
they love it, man.
We're going to keep going. We are going to keep going.
Yeah, they love it, man. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Okay. Well, Jack, that took a lot of energy.
Well, I want to bring something up, and it's been bothering me. Affordability. Not only am I bothered by the fact that somehow Republicans have somehow allowed Democrats to take this narrative of affordability and put it on the Republicans' shoulders, when meanwhile this all happened under Joe Biden. And when it comes to healthcare, Obamacare subsidies, that's all the Democrats' fault as well. But somehow it's Donald Trump's fault. I don't know. That's the Republicans' awful messaging. But affordability, okay? Now, I got to be able to square this. So how do we have an affordability problem when the TSA screened 3,133,924 people on November 30th alone? That is the most all time. Where Black Friday, once again, breaking records. Jack, where do we have an affordability problem, or do we just have a people that just don't know how to budget problem? What is going on?
Honestly, I think it's a little bit of both, because there's definitely an affordability problem. Maybe not in certain areas, but definitely in others. I mean, groceries are still out of this world. I pay $150 for groceries. I got a gallon of milk and 2 loaves of bread. That's pretty much all. Where
are you going?
Hey, man, there's Publix. There's Walmart. I mean, where else are you going to get the best groceries? Sam's Club?
Listen, no. See, I go to places. I don't know if you have them near you. I got Lidl. I have Aldi, and they're not bad. And I'm telling you, Jack, it's half the price. Half.
Well, yeah, but those are very generic, though.
And not everything. You can get name brand stuff there too. But my point is, I get it. Groceries as a whole haven't come down the way we want them to.
Insane.
But no, but my thing is though, everybody's on planes, everybody's going somewhere, everybody's shopping. Where's the affordability? Is it really that bad? Does that go back to the beginning of this conversation when we said we make up problems? Is that part of what's going on here? And I get it. You know what the problems are? It's insurance. That's the problem. It's housing. It's shelter. Those are the things that are killing people. Car insurance. Gas right now is the lowest it's been since mid 2021. $3 a gallon nationally. So that's coming down a lot.
Yeah, here it's $2.35 actually.
That's amazing. I mean, you're going to probably go down to maybe close to $2 at some point. So that, and that'll kind of trickle down because as we know, energy, fuel, especially gas, right? That's the thing that drives, hey, the truck's got to get there to deliver the goods, right? The plane's got to fly to deliver the cargo. So once that comes down, hey, these places, these companies, you got to start lowering your prices because we know you're not paying as much as you were to have this stuff brought to you.
Well, let me tell you what bothers me more than anything, though. If you want to talk about affordability, affordability is, it's basically depending on your means. But let me say that when it comes to Donald Trump, you can't have tariffs and income tax. You just can't.
It's trying to
double taxing people.
Well, he's trying to get rid of income tax. He's been bringing that up. He's saying,
he has to. He can't just keep saying, got to do it. Sign an executive order. You did the same thing with the Department of Education. Just abolish the IRS or at least defund it. You can bring it down to nothing. You're allowed to fire people. You don't have to get rid of the department. Just make it to where nobody works there anymore. Cut their budget down to $1 to where they can't do anything. That's all you got to do.
Well, if he does anything, it's going to court right away, and Judge Boasberg will stop him or some other judge. We know that.
It's got to be done, though, man. You can't have the reason that we got rid of tariffs in the first place is because they were too proportionally heavy on poor people. Because a lot of and let me tell you something, okay? Right now, some of the big companies might be absorbing the cost, but that's not going to happen forever. There is no way they are going to allow profits or get consumers lower prices so they get less profit. That's not going to happen. It might have happened for a little while, but it's definitely not going to stay that way. And so eventually it's all going to trickle down. It's all trickle down economics. It's the same thing. And if you still have income tax where, a single person that makes more than $47,000 a year is taxed at 22% federally, that is insane.
Yeah. The amount of taxes that we pay is insane. Okay. But the thing is he's 10 months in. It's going to take some time. We're going to need, this is why the midterms, I talk about this. We don't just need this term. We need about 2 more after this or 3 of somebody.
Had record tariff just for the month of October, like $40 or $50 billion. Why can't, instead of giving us each $2,000, just eliminate the freaking say, okay, you don't have to file taxes this year. Come on. I
don't know that he could do it unilaterally, even with an executive order. I don't think so. But my point is, could he try just to say, hey, I'm trying to, they're stopping me? Maybe he should. Listen, I don't love the $2,000 checks. I really don't. I don't think people aren't going to take that money and put it into an S&P 500 ETF, Jack. You know what they're going to do? They're going to spend it. He says he wants those out mid to late 2026. Okay, that's fine. I think he wants it out before
never happen. I'm still waiting on my $5,000 Doge check.
No, that ain't happening. Especially since Doge, as we know, and Mike Benz.
That's what I'm saying. The $2,000 check ain't happening either.
Well, I think it will. I think the $2,000 check will. He's talked way too much about it. I think he knows it's going to get done. The $5,000 Doge dividend checks, listen, sounded great. But again, I'm not a fan of handing out money to be pumped back into the economy. I get this is a little different because this wasn't money printed whole cloth out of nowhere. This is money coming in generated by tariff revenue. So I kind of understand that where it's not as inflationary, where you just like we did during COVID, where the money printer during the Biden administration never, ever turned off. We printed trillions of dollars. I think we printed more money in those 4 years than has ever been printed combined ever. So that's why everything is so screwed up. The amount of damage that Biden administration did to this country, Jack, I don't think everybody kind of grasps how bad it was and can't grasp what President Trump has actually been able to accomplish in 10 months to kind of keep the country, to stabilize things and get the country back on the rails, because that is how bad Joe Biden and the auto pen administration was.
What I don't understand is if they allowed me to be president for 1 week, You know, I
You
would
said one day.
give me 24 hours. Are you kidding me? Give me 24 hours.
I'll
And
give you a
will
week. No, I need you to be there a week.
I will tear the government apart, but I will do it to where it doesn't affect everybody. I will actually do these things rather than talk about next mid 2026. No, I'm doing that shit tomorrow. Sign the executive order, whatever you got to go. Talk to Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary. We got to make this happen. I want to abolish the IRS. I want to do this. Let's get a date set. I want to do it. But instead, it's just a lot of yeah. And he, don't get me wrong. Just by getting elected, he saved America. Just by getting elected. But now's the time. We are 10 months in. People are always saying, oh, wait and see. I mean, how freaking long do we have to wait and see for something?
Well, here's the thing. I think all the stuff you're saying, I think he would love to do, but he can't. Even Scott Bessent can't. I mean, Scott Bessent is basically in charge of the IRS right now, as well as being the Treasury Secretary, right? That's another thing I love that President Trump has done. Everybody in his cabinet has like 4 jobs. Like,
well, what good are they though if they can't do anything?
Oh, I think Bessent is great. I think he's very good. I love him. I think if we want to talk about the cabinet, I think Marco Rubio's done a very good job. I think I've always been worried about Marco Rubio as an establishment kind of person, because he was. I mean, he was a Gang of 8 guy. But since he's been Secretary of State, I don't know whether he's just playing the role or not, but he's doing a hell of a job as Secretary of State, and his messaging is spot on when it comes to immigration, when it comes to a lot of things. But the stuff that we want done, it just can't happen at the stroke of a pen, and it just can't. And that's a good thing. And right now for us, it's a bad thing because we want it now, but it can't happen like that.
But see, the thing is, the Democrats would, if they had power, they would make it happen, illegally or not.
Yes, correct. You're absolutely right.
We do it illegally or not.
Because we don't fight the same. We've said it before. We don't, and Republicans,
that's why we never win.
You're right. You are 100% right. And again, what President Trump's been able to do with the Republican Party in 10 years is miraculous, but there's a lot more work to do.
Oh my God, it was horrible before he got there. They both were.
Think about who our nominees were. You had McCain and Palin.
Mitt Romney.
Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan. Think about
Mitt Romney was like the establishment guy. He even looked like, he looked like an older Gavin Newsom. I mean,
yeah. So think about that, how far we've come, where we was in 2012, we had Paul Ryan and Mitch Romney. That's not that long ago in the grand scheme of things. No. And now we've had President Trump on the ballot the last 3 times. And now we're probably going to have somebody like a JD Vance, and who knows who is running. Maybe a Marco Rubio, maybe a Tulsi Gabbard. I don't know.
See, it could have been Charlie Kirk, man. It could have been Charlie Kirk.
One day.
He was going to be president one day. I can promise you that. He was going to be president one day.
I agree with that. I think Charlie Kirk had all the makings of somebody that could have been president one day. I truly believe that. And let me tell you something. Since they assassinated Charlie Kirk, I tell you that they did some damage. They've done some damage. Forget about, of course, to his family, which goes without say. But they have done damage to the America First MAGA movement, because now we have division all over the place. For whatever reason, I still can't wrap my head around why that has happened. I know other people, they've explained it to me, but I still don't get it. Why was Charlie Kirk, Jack? Was he the one who was keeping that in check? Who was the reason, the voice of reason that kept
for the young people?
focused?
Yes, he was for the younger generation, for Generation Z or X or P or Y, whatever the hell it is. For that generation, he was the one that they came to see. He was the one that kept them calm, kept them in check, gave them a message of hope. When he was killed, they had nowhere to go. They go their own way. So now they're separating, and now there's this infighting of bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. It was almost like people said, oh, here's a chance. These people are now up for grabs. Let's get them. And we've had that. And that's why we have, like you said, these butting of heads. And I don't know. It's a problem. I hope it settles itself out before the midterms, and especially, of course, before 2028. But we got some work to do. Somebody's got to come along and meld this, glue it back together. I don't know who it's going to be. Could it be JD Vance? Could it be President Trump? But does he start going back on these podcasts with people like Theo Vaughn and Jake Paul and Joe Rogan? I think he should. I definitely think he should before the midterms. I think that would be a good kind of start to try to bring it back together again, because the coalition that he did put together for 2024 was really amazing.
Oh,
And I'd hate to see it just get destroyed like this in months. It's kind of concerning.
Well, it's good news. It's been almost an hour, and we have 4,000 viewers now. I'm kidding. It's 299.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, no, it's obviously something's off. The live stream's being
That is
throttled.
insane. This is the lowest I have ever seen something like this, and it's very weird. So if you take how many viewers we have times it by minutes, we have about 6 viewers per minute.
No,
So every 60 seconds, we got about 6 viewers watching.
Yeah, it's impossible. Like you said, with the amount of followers you have, the amount of followers I have, with the amount of people followers of the reposts have, it's impossible. It's basically being shut out, and it is what it is. There's nothing we could do about it, but we'll just hope that X turns itself around. Because listen, I know I'm new to the show, but it can't be that people don't like me that much that all of a sudden this is happening. Because even if people don't like me that much, they'll listen just to hear what I say next if they hate me. So that's this just can't happen.
Well, Psyop says we do YouTube and the other ones, but they kind of suck. But what is Kick? Maybe we could try Kick. What is that?
I've heard of it. I've never actually been on a platform, but I have heard of it. So I really don't want to comment on it because I don't know anything about it, but I've heard of it.
I'm going to check that out. Maybe we could do Kick as well, see what we can do there. The problem is on X is where we have built our platform. X is where we have, all the followers and the loyal viewers and things like that. So to go to Kick, we would have no viewers or followers or anything.
Yeah, you'd be starting from scratch. But listen, you start from scratch somewhere. So yeah, we could look into that. We'll see. But I'm not. Listen, as I said, I'm not going to lose my mind over it. We just know, as I said, there's going to be bumps in the road beyond our control, and we just keep plugging away. And that's it.
Let me end the show on something positive, something I think you're gonna like, something I think everybody's gonna like, and I think we should do that each episode. End on something positive, so everybody has something to look forward to, something to laugh at, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So check this out, okay? This is really good, and let me see if I can share the screen here because I think you'll like this. So, all right. Let's add this up here. So check this out, okay? So right now, the White House now has a media offender of the week and an offender hall of shame. You go to whitehouse.gov/media bias. Right now, this week's offenders are CBS, the Boston Globe, and the Independent. You can actually search. You can see the articles where they're lying and all the BS they're doing, and they are in the offender hall of shame. And these 3 are the media offenders of the week. Just try it. Try going to it. You click on this. Let's see if we can get up there. Can you see that? How's it looking? No, you can't see that part. Okay, yeah. No, let me see if I can share this tab. Here we go. Can you see it now? Jay?
Yeah, we just got kicked off for a second.
Really? That was weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you can see it now. See where misleading, biased, exposed. These are the media offenders of the week: the Boston Globe, CBS News, the Independent, and this is at whitehouse.gov. This is on the White House website. It's brilliant. They've got the offense. Look at this: the offense, the truth, key points, the category, the claim. Media misrepresents and exaggerates President Trump's calls for Democrat accountability. Where now he's talking about where the Democrats are saying now that he said they should all be executed. That's what these lies were about. So it's absolutely awesome, and that's something great to end on. Tell me your thoughts about it.
Well, listen, I think that the White House, the media team on the White House page, I think the media team on the DHS page, on a lot of the pages is fantastic.
Caroline League is awesome.
They are great. I mean, listen, did you see Pete Hegseth with the turtle Franklin blowing up the drug boats?
No, I
oh my God.
I might have.
Could you please just go to Pete Hegseth, because everybody on the left wants him thrown in jail because he has a cartoon of the turtle Franklin, which is a character for little kids, and a helicopter blowing up narco boats.
Well, I think the reason that they're mad at him, though, is because they believe that they blew up one of the boats, 2 people survived, and then he said kill them all anyway, or some bullshit like that.
I don't know if that's true or not. And
that's what they said. That's what they're saying. Now, there's no way to know if it's true.
Yeah, if they're saying it, it's probably not true. And they lie about everything. And quite frankly, if they were both narco terrorists, I really don't care, to be honest with you.
I don't either. I mean, this is how I frame it, okay? These are foreign invaders. They're illegals, foreign invaders that are literally invading America's shores and borders to bring poison that will kill Americans. That's narco-terrorism at its best.
What else do you need to know? And why is anybody upset that those particular people are being blown out of the water?
Well, we know again, Democrats, their whole platform is illegals, criminals, pedophiles, transgender. That's their whole platform, is the criminal or the mentally ill.
Yeah, add narco terrorists to the list. You know, for my next trick, I will have the Democrats upset that narco terrorists are being killed before they get to our country.
You should tell everybody that oxygen's good for you, man. I would love to see them all hold their breath on TikTok.
Like the Tylenol thing, when the Tylenol thing came out, right? I mean, it is
how many now, this might be controversial if I say this, but how many Democrat babies did he save us? No, I better not do that. I better
don't do it. You know what it is? But it is scary though, Jack. It is scary that what the thing is, what you're saying isn't far-fetched, because that's how crazy and sick and mentally ill they are. I mean, there's something, and it has to be studied, that he's set off in certain people's heads that is something we've never seen before. That one person could have this much of an effect on your daily life where they can't get him out of their head. It is really, it's a phenomenon, and it needs to be figured out.
Well, you're right. And that's the crazy thing. We have things like, the Mandela effect, things like that, where a person causes something, people like misremember something, or they think they saw something that they didn't really see, like with Sinbad, doing the Genie movie. He never actually did the Genie movie, but for some reason, a lot of kids in the 90s have it in their head that he did a Genie movie, or that Fruit of the Loom had the cornucopia with the fruit on the tag. It never actually had the cornucopia on there, but people think it did. That's the Mandela effect, where they all think something happened, a collective memory. This is the same kind of thing, only it's called, the Trump derangement syndrome. It is an actual real thing. And believe it or not, psychologists and psychiatrists have started diagnosing this as an actual disorder now, and they are getting medication for it, which is basically just, whatever, haloperidol, antipsychotic medication.
I feel like I've been ahead of this for a long time. Way before you knew me, way before I was on this platform, I've been saying this is real, and it needs to be treated as such, as an actual mental disorder. And I've said in the past, the first person that comes up with a medication specifically for this is going to make a lot of money, because it affects over half the country almost. It's real. And I saw that thing where this guy said it's almost all of his patients, they're coming in and they can't get Donald Trump out of their head. It's amazing. I mean, listen, we despise Joe Biden, we despise Barack Obama, but I wasn't letting Joe Biden or Barack Obama or anyone, I'm not going to let a politician ruin my daily life and my enjoyment of the things I can get enjoyment out of in this life. It's not happening, but that's what's happening for these people. And it's really incredible.
It is. And I like the way that what Nate said. He said, how about a vaccine for TDS? Moderna and them can make it. I think that would be great. A Moderna vaccine for TDS. It would just be saline, and the people would start to think it works. Just a placebo, whatever it is. Or, like I said, haloperidol, antipsychotic medication, Xanax, maybe, whatever it is. But
I'm just going to say it's safe and effective, whatever it is, Jack. It's safe and effective.
I guarantee it. There's no side effects.
And if you don't take it, you're going to get fired from your job. Can we do that?
Yeah. Or the military. You're not going to be able to do the military. I mean, actually, you're not going to be able to go into restaurants. You have to have a TDS passport that shows you no longer have TDS.
Right.
By the way, before we go, there's something I did want to say that I want to see happen immediately. And I don't care about anything else. This should be the number one priority over everything else there is. Okay. I want to see, he stopped third world migration. You know what I mean? He stopped the third world migration, which is a great thing, but, and it's going to keep people out, which is very helpful. But what I wanted to, and of course it's what I wanted to say, and I actually have it right here. It was something that, Okay. What I like that he stopped the third world migration. That's a start. But however, what we need is a declaration of national emergency. We need a declaration of national emergency followed by the suspension of habeas corpus for anyone of Islamic ideology, than the immediate removal of these ideologues. See, that kind of thing has a precedent, such as the Civil War. Okay, he was able to suspend habeas corpus because of an invasion that was occurring, because of a war, because of a takeover of America. And that is what we have here. If he declares a national emergency, he can suspend habeas corpus. And believe it or not, he can get the military, the National Guard, to get all these people on boats, planes. He could get them out within a month.
Listen, after the midterms, all bets are off, regardless how they turn out. I think that's what we're waiting for. I hope so, to see a lot of the stuff that we're talking about actually happen. Now, here's precedent for what he's doing now, which is blocking. Remember the Muslim ban that it was called in his first term? He won that in court. So he can do what he's doing now. And there's no roadblocks here, really. They could try, but it's already been settled. Now, what you're saying, hey, listen, once the midterms are over, Jack, I'm just saying go for broke. Go for broke and do this stuff, because we can't let what's going on in places like Dearborn and in Minnesota and in parts of Texas and in parts of the Pacific Northwest and what's going to happen in New York City. This is not sustainable. Eventually something's going to give.
The thing is, will he actually do these things? And Islam and the radicalist Muslims are the number one threat. Forget affordability, forget tariffs, forget taxes, forget, illegal immigrants anywhere else, forget the Somalians, okay? It is Muslims and Islam ideology that is the number one threat to America. They are the number one religion in the world. I don't want to see women all over America wearing a laundry bag with eye holes cut out, okay? I don't want to see that. But if you think it can't happen, I want you to look at Iran, 1979. The Islamic Revolution in Iran, before that, they were just like us. They were like America. Women could do whatever they want. People could, have fun, whatever. 1979 flipped it on its head. And it is now one of the most Islamic countries. People keep asking, why do they keep coming here? Why are they coming here when they have 50 other Muslim countries? I'm going to tell you exactly why. Because their ideology, which they believe is some prophet named Muhammad that's a pedophile. It's just unbelievable the shit they'll believe. 72 virgins if you die for your freaking religion. What the hell is going on through their heads? Oh, I'm going to blow myself up because I'll get 72 virgins in heaven. What in the hell is... All right, that's beyond. That's beyond. But these people, I mean, in Iran, things were totally different. It can happen in America too. People think that it's impossible. Did you realize that over 40 some odd Muslims were elected to office this past election cycle? 40 all over the country. Do you realize people think that the Constitution is something that is written in stone that can't be broken? That is wrong. If enough Muslims get in power, let's say eventually 30, 40 years from now, it's like the UK, where the Muslims are the governors of pretty much every freaking state. Okay. All you need is 2/3 of the state to change any constitutional amendment.
Yeah. Via convention. Absolutely. Or just vote. Correct. Well, here's the thing. We don't care if somebody wants to come here and practice your religion. No. You can practice your religion as long as it's legal, as long as you're not doing anything illegal. That's what it's all about. But you don't get to force your religion or your beliefs or your culture on everybody else and then tell them, if you don't do this, you're going to have problems. That's what we have and in certain spots already. And we don't want this festering. We don't want it spreading. That's what can't spread. Anybody could come here and legally go through the process and worship as you see fit, as I said, as long as it's nothing illegal and you're not hurting anybody. But you don't get to come and dictate your way of life that you think is better for everybody here. That ain't happening. It's not compatible with the United States Constitution, period. So if you can't do that, then you can't be here. It's that simple. And I'm not, and if you don't like that, it's not any phobia. That's just common sense, and it's our law. So that's it. I don't see why this is an issue. I don't see why this is controversial. I don't see why this is debatable.
Well, quite honestly, I'll be honest. I have Islamophobia. I cannot stand Islam. It is one of the worst, most sickest religions. It's not even a religion, it's an ideology, and that's why I don't believe it should be protected as a religion. It is an ideology, and it is by some book written by somebody that is it's just off the freaking walls how people can believe this shit. It's like people will believe whatever they want to believe, no matter how off the wall it is. If they want to believe it, they will believe it, no matter how off the wall it is, which is exactly why half of the country hates Trump, because they want to believe the things the media are saying. Whether they're true or not, they want to believe it.
Yeah. Yeah. Because if they believe it, then it's almost like people need something to hate or need something to be against. And
they need something to be a part of is the thing. Like, you know,
true.
in the 60s, they had all these protests where everybody was a part of a protest against Vietnam. Well, right now, we're in a lull where there's no real protests against anything. There's no organic anything, and there's nothing for these people to be a part of. So they're lost. They're like, hey, I'm lonely. I'm alone. I have nothing to be a part of. Let me go scream in this group. If I dye my hair pink and I yell with them, I will be accepted.
Right. I have my group now. I have my, you know, my clique, my people. Like I have something that I belong to. Listen, and I'm just going to say this. I'm watching these people in New York City now, you know, obstruct ICE vehicles and do this and jump all over. And I'm watching the NYPD, which I was a member of. And back when I was a member, none of this stuff would be accepted. Okay. I got cops. I see them wearing the flex cuffs, and the flex cuffs aren't being put on anybody. What the hell is going on? Can some arrest somebody? They're jumping in front of vehicles. They're attacking federal agents. You don't just shove them to the ground and then let them walk away. No. They go to jail. And if you need more manpower, get more manpower. Here's the thing, Jack. The NYPD is never short of manpower when they want manpower. Let me just tell you that right now. Ever.
Oh no.
If they
got
want
auxiliary officers, I mean, they've got everything.
They can send whatever they want. Believe me, I used to get sent all over the damn place for whatever happened. And we always had enough people if things went sideways. All of a sudden now I'm seeing outnumbered. They don't have enough people. This is on purpose. This is what I told President Trump with the Insurrection Act in Portland. It should have been done there. It still needs to be done there. It still needs to be done in Chicago. And guess what? Once Mamdani, the most damage he can do is with the NYPD. He has full control of the NYPD. And the problems are going to start. And people are going to be like, how did this happen? I'm telling you now, remember this video. It's going to happen.
Without a doubt. And, you know, and he's full on Muslim. When the Muslim shot and killed the National Guard person, he said, I'm sorry she passed away. She didn't say he was killed. He didn't say it was a Muslim terrorist attack. I'm sorry she passed away is what he said.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible when they go young like that, Jack. You know what I mean? Just horrible.
What I find particularly odd is that those two that were shot, they were both shot within 24 hours of swearing in. See, that to me is particularly odd. What are the odds of that?
Not good.
Probably one in a billion.
It's not impossible.
Two people, both of them National Guard, both of them sworn in 24 hours before. That's just an odd coincidence if you believe in coincidence.
It is. It could happen. I mean, you know, they both got out there the same day. But listen, there are plenty of times where I was out with rookies that just got out the same day as I did. Said, God forbid, knock on wood, that never happened. But yeah, it could have happened to two of us. I mean, it could happen. I don't know.
Well, let me show you.
Again.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to show everybody how bad. Okay, so what do you associate with Iran right now in terms of the people? You associate, you know, the big garb, the burqa, head to toe women shit, you know? You associate men beating women and women having no free rights and all this other BS. The reason that Islam is taking over is because they're allowed to force the women to have sex from the age of 9 all the way up until they can no longer have babies. So each man has like 30 kids, but he doesn't have to pay child support or do any of that stuff. So, you know, they each have 30 kids. But let me show you what Iran was like in 1979, pre-Islam. I want you guys to check this out. This is America now. Iran in 1979 is America now. And I want everybody to check this out because this is exactly what we look like now. But if we let it go, we are going to look like the Iran of today. So check this
countries
out.
in the Middle East. Believe this, but this was Iran, the same Iran we now associate with headscarves, morality police, and strict religious laws. It's the 1970s, Tehran. Women walked the streets without hijabs. They wore skirts, went to work, studied in universities. There were open beaches, movie theaters, nightclubs, Western fashion, and alcohol, all completely legal. Back then, Iran was one of the most Western-oriented countries in the Middle East. The Shah, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, was modernizing the country, building schools, hospitals, highways. Foreign tourists flew to Iran for vacation. And Iranian women were becoming ministers, doctors, even pilots, before it was mainstream in much of Europe. Iranian women gained the right to vote in 1963, earlier than in some European countries. Iran had one of the best healthcare systems in the region. Tehran was booming. Skyscrapers, metro lines, modern highways, blending Persian tradition with modern design, shopping malls, Western brands, luxury boutiques. Iran had a vibrant film industry with local stars and Hollywood blockbusters in theaters. Iran was seen as a U.S. ally, often compared to Turkey or even Italy in terms of openness. But in 1979, everything changed.
Yeah, so everything changed for Iran. It was a totally Western-oriented country, like they said. It was actually a great place. But let me tell you why everything changed, and it's the same reason every country that is in turmoil right now is because of the United States. The United States, Black Ops or USAID or whatever it is, pays for regime change. They would prefer dictators. I'm not talking about Trump. I'm talking about the CIA and the Black Ops. They prefer dictators because dictators have total control of their country. So the CIA can have total control of that country if they control the dictator. That is why the supreme, whatever the hell his name is, the supreme dude of the land is the supreme dude of the land since 1979. If he was really bad for us, if they really hated Iran for the nuclear shit, CIA would have taken him out a long time ago.
Yeah, and one person took out the nuclear stuff, and that's President Trump. Probably against all, he's the only one that ever. How many times he said it himself? Other presidents promised they would do this, never did it, never did it, never did it. Who did it? Me. What does that tell you? Again, why they hate him so much, why they want to stop him so much. He's the only one that does these things that how many presidents before have promised, moving the capital in Israel to Jerusalem, right? All that stuff. Nobody else ever did it. Why not? Why not? Because they didn't want to keep their promise? No, of course they probably wanted to keep their promise. That's good politically. Of course there were other reasons why they didn't do it. And you probably just mentioned it right there. Okay. So we had 1979, looks like a thriving, like you said, everyday metropolis. And now we're in the Stone Age. Literally.
It's horrible. And it can happen in America. That's why I don't want people to think that the Constitution is written in stone. See, this is the thing. The laws of a country, like a constitution, are only effective if they are enforced by that country. Okay? If they're not enforced, then it's just a piece of paper, doesn't mean anything. So if enough Muslims get here and get in power, they can just either not enforce it or they can change it. And believe you me, over the last 40 or 50 years, that is exactly what they have been doing. They don't want to go to their own Muslim countries that they've already conquered. By the way, they actually hate. They hate the way they live, but they want to spread it to everywhere. So their prophet, Muhammad, tells them to spread Islam as far as it can go and, marry 9-year-olds, but spread Islam as far as it can go and conquer all the lands of the world. They will not stop until America is Islamic, until it is an all Islamic nation under Sharia law. And you better believe that they're willing to do anything to achieve it. However, the American government, and this is what boggles my mind, the people in the American government, at least most of them, grew up in America. They got their start in America. They are elected to that office, got rich off American taxpayer money. Why in the world would you just let America? It just doesn't make any sense, man. I don't get it.
Well, I think they know they'll be fine. It's kind of like the Hunger Games. It's real life. They'll be fine. They'll be amongst the ruling elites. It's them and everybody else. But you know what? They shouldn't really be that secure in the fact that they'll be fine, because I always think the useful idiots, they're the ones that go first.
Oh, no, they'll go first. But the people that are in power now, what they don't realize is jihad means armed struggle against non-believers. If you're not a Muslim, if you're not a strong believer, you're going to be killed if they get power. Don't people seem to misconstrue the fact Islamic is violent. It's not oh, let's take over the government and run it like a government. No, they have in Saudi Arabia, they have a morality, a vice and virtue police. Okay. And the vice and virtue police go around, and this is, you can look it up. You can look it up. This is 100% true. Vice and virtue police go around Saudi Arabia. And if I saw the other day, a woman's scarf fell off of her face for 2 seconds, they beat the hell out of her. Okay. The vice and virtue police go around, make sure you're not drinking alcohol. If you're drinking alcohol, they'll beat the hell out of you. If you steal something, they will grab your arm and slice your hand off. Look it up.
I believe it. And guess what? What do you think they're trying to, Jack? They played a long game.
That's exactly what's happening.
They are in no rush to do anything. They will wait, they plan, and they strike. 9/11, you think that was planned overnight? Of course not. 1993 bombing, you think that was planned overnight? Of course not. No, who knows what's been planned since then? And now we'd have no idea who's in this country right now. None. Especially what came over the last 4 years. We had evidence of it the other day when we had 2 National Guards shot. One died. The other one's fighting for his life. So
they did say he is awake and responsive now, by the way.
Thank God. Thank God. I heard he was doing way better than they thought he would. Maybe a miracle will happen.
He is awake and responsive now. I got to say, though, real quick, a lot of people don't know, and this is actually something that someone said to me that will really help you think in terms of this, okay? When Muslims are the minority, they are a peaceful religion. As soon as they get the numbers and they are the majority, that's when you will see the violence, hate, and anger come out.
Makes sense.
So that's why they're biding their time. That's why you're not seeing all the crazy shit in America yet, because what they're doing now, they're bringing over as many as they can, and they're having as many kids as they can. This has been going on for 40 or 50 years. In another 30 years, they will be the majority, and then you're going to see some shit.
Yeah, well, listen, what happened in Minnesota, not Minnesota, with the Afghan allied, whatever they called it, when they relocated everybody from Joe Biden's awful withdrawal from Afghanistan, that's a couple of years ago. How many kids have those people that are brought here had already? At least they could have 2 by now. Think about that.
I'll tell you that each Muslim person, and like I said, they have sex with the women when they starting at age 9. You're allowed to marry them as young as 6. But they have sex with them starting at age 9 only if they can get pregnant. And you can look this up too. It's 100% true. Only if they can get pregnant, they can have sex with them starting at age 9. So if they have kids at age 9, think about that. She's a mom. She's 30 years old. Her kid just turned 21. Unfreaking believable. But so God. They have so they can have kids starting at age 9. Imagine if they do that up into age 45 or whatever it is. Each Muslim person, man, and they're allowed to have many wives. So imagine having 10 kids with 5 different wives, man.
It's insane. So they're going to outbreed us. It's not even close. So
no way.
It's a problem.
Because they can force the women to have kids. We don't do that, and we can't do that. So that's why they are their religion basically says you can do whatever the hell you want as long as it is in furtherance of their religion.
Yep. 100%. We got a problem. Well, Jack, before we go, if you want a little breaking news, a little President Trump truth on the way out.
Let's see what we got.
It's related to Mark Kelly. It says Mark Kelly and the group of unpatriotic politicians were wrong to do what they did, and they know it. I hope the people looking at them are not duped into thinking that it's okay to openly and freely get others to disobey the president of the United States. Okay, well, we'll see what happens, and I think by December 10th, Mark Kelly's basically his fate is under the hands of the Secretary of the Navy at this point to see what they're going to do with him. Pete Heggs has sent that letter to the Secretary of the Navy and said, I want the results of your investigation in by December 10th. Do you think anything's going to happen, Jack?
I mean, they might say, "Oh, we found this," and this, but they've got to hold somebody accountable. They've got to have someone. Let me tell you, none of the things that are happening everywhere will stop happening until there are severe consequences and they're actually enforced.
Agreed.
It's got to be enforced.
No,
and it's never enforced.
No, and you said it before. If the roles are reversed, somebody would be in jail by now, or somebody would have been resigning by now. It's just
absolutely.
Yeah.
So before we sign off, I want to say it's been an hour and 20 minutes. We have 448 viewers.
Incredible.
In an hour and 20 minutes. So thank you to the 448 that were able to see it on
Yes.
X. Let's say that the other 20,000 were not able to. So we'll see where it goes from here. But I mean, we're going to continue to do it regardless because, I mean, eventually something's got to break. It just can't, if it continues in this downward trajectory, and I'm not talking about our show, I'm talking about X in general, eventually Elon Musk is either going to have to take the reins, pull it back up, or it's going to die.
Agreed. He's going to have, and I don't see Elon as the type of guy that, went into this letting it die. I think
I sure hope
eventually,
not, because he
think
spent
so.
$40 billion on this thing.
Exactly.
$44 billion just to let it die. He saved free speech only to let free speech die 3 years later. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, Jay, I think we have solved all the problems we can for 1 week. I
Agreed.
really hope that the president listens to us. I believe that I think we solved the economic policy. I believe we solved the Islam invasion and what to do there. And I believe we've solved a lot of things today. So, we'll see what we can do next week. What do you say, bud?
I'm good. Yeah, I think, listen, just watch our program, President Trump, and listen, the answers are all right here. Plain English. We're just saying what everybody else is thinking. That's what I say.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
We are the mouthpiece for everybody else. They think the same things. We try to get it out there, even though X currently doesn't want us to.
We'll see what we can do after the show. We'll see if we can get this out. Everybody get it out there as best you can. We'll get it out there.
Anybody that can, please repost. Quote post actually helps the most, but they still, I mean, it's unbelievable. 469 in 90 minutes is absolutely insane. But Jay, I want to thank you for coming on. I want to thank everybody else for watching, anybody that could watch. Thank you, Raina, Patriot Nola, Deborah, and Nate for all commenting all the time. We really appreciate it. Deborah, we are going to dream bigger. Thank you. We really appreciate it. So I just wanted to thank all of you and my partner, Jay. This is going to be one show of many. So it doesn't matter if we have 470 or 470,000. We will be back next Monday, December 8th. Until then.
You've been listening to Secret America.